Representative Steve Israel on our show yesterday discussing what he thinks is the fallout from the Republican Party's presidential ticket. Well, joining me now, the other side of this, the Deputy Chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee, Congressman Greg Walden of Oregon. Good morning, Congressman. So let me start with go ahead and rebut. Do you believe the Republican ticket is making the Medicare issue more complicated for your members?
No, actually, we're on offense because we have a plan to save Medicare, protect those who are 55 and over. This isn't about them. We'll keep that pledge to them. Look, we all had parents. Mine have passed now, but I saw how important Medicare was for them in the end years of their life, the senior years of their life. I am fully committed to making sure seniors are taken care of. But if you do nothing, the actuaries tell us Medicare goes broke. So we did something. We said, here's a way to deal with Medicare. It looks a lot like Medicare Part D, by the way, for the next generation of seniors. Obamacare is the one that raided $716 billion out of Medicare and put it into Obamacare. That really is a threat to Medicare.
Do you think Medicare is going to be the most debated issue among House candidates? That if we do a survey, do we think that'll be the giant issue in House races?
I don't think so. No, it's economy and jobs. That's the issue Americans care about. But we're more than happy to have the Medicare debate. They're howling about it on the Democrat side because we've drawn it back to a tie as an issue. They're not getting any traction. In fact, the kind of ads they've run, Political Fact Check is called the biggest lie of the year, and so they don't have credibility on this issue. The independent folks that look at ads say, you know, look at Charlie Wilson out there in Ohio. They've had to take that ad down because it's not truthful. And so we want to tell the truth to American people that the only people that put a tax on the middle class, Obamacare, that, according to the Congressional Budget Office, is a big tax on middle class, and it's $716 billion that the Democrats took out of Medicare and spent on Obamacare.
Let me ask you about fundraising here.
Yeah.
In August, Democrats outraised you almost 2-1.
Yeah,
I was surprised by that. You guys are in the majority, are you not?
Yeah.
Usually, if you're in the majority, you should be outraged. What's going on?
So, Chuck, I was a small business owner for 22 years. You don't get to spend gross, you get to spend net. It's what cash you have after your costs. We're $9.8 million cash on hand today ahead of the Democrats. We have $49.8 million in the bank.
Money follows momentum, though, does it not?
They've outraised us different months of the year. We've outraised them other months of the year. But I'll tell you what, the momentum doesn't follow money if you didn't keep enough money back to actually spend. You don't get to spend gross, you get to spend net. That's the amount in your checking book, not how much you made and then frittered away. So I'd much rather be in our cash situation. And 2 years ago, we were down 121% versus where we are on cash on hand, and we picked up 63 net seats. So it's about running smart, tactical campaigns with good grassroots and having the financial resource to make this thing work.
Republican Senate candidate Tommy Thompson said this about presidential coattails. It's bound to have an impact on every election, you know, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. If your standard bearer for the presidency is not doing well, it's going to reflect on the ballot. Do you need Mitt Romney to stay strong in the polls? If he's getting hurt, will that hurt your chances in the House?
Well, you know, we want Romney to be strong in the polls and to win the election. If you go back to 1980, at this point in the race, Ronald Reagan was down 3 points or 4 points in the Gallup. Mitt Romney's basically tied or up 1 in the Gallup polls. Well, this thing has a long way to play out. But the other thing, if you look at Charlie Cook and some of the independent prognosticators, they say there hasn't really been coattails either way anyway in the House races. Senate races are a little different animal than the House races.
Greg Walden, who's the Deputy Chairman of the NRCC, and maybe the next Chairman of the NRCC. We'll be watching that. Republican from Oregon. Thanks for coming on. All right.
You're welcome.
Apple's iPhone